Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the UPIKE Football Coaches Show. I'm Rick Bentley. He's the coach, Corey Phipps, and we're here for the next hour or so to talk to him and a couple of our players about all things going on in UPIKE athletics. And just before we started the show, last thing Corey and I were talking about here is something I wanted to mention off the jump. Men's soccer home playoff game tomorrow, Coach.
Yeah,
we
absolutely.
don't get a lot of those.
Yeah, our men's and women's soccer teams have had just record-setting years. Finished better than they've ever finished. Really proud of those folks. So we host our first men's conference postseason soccer game in school history.
Yeah.
I think Coach is doing an outstanding job. So we want to encourage people to come out tomorrow on the real Halloween, even though we celebrate Halloween here in Pikeville tonight on a Thursday. But come out and really support our men's soccer program and what they're doing. Our women are on the road, and we support them too. But, if the community could come out and get rowdy for a soccer game for Coach Ollie and the fellas, it'd be really, really awesome.
2 o'clock on Friday at Bob Amos Park, all the way up to top turf field there. And we would love to have a big crowd out there for that game. Coach, less said about last week, the better. We're moving on to this week, and
tough loss, strange place to play. Always when you go up there to that big empty stadium, and you play at
Mitchell Stadium, right?
Yeah, you play at Bluefield. So tough deal. You go up, you have some miscues early, and you fight back. And I think you were down by 21 points at one point at the half. I think it was 30 to
9.
30 to 9. We battled back to a 40 to 43 loss. A lot of guys I'm proud of who stepped up, who are younger guys to try to get us back in it. But, one of those deals, you just ran out of time, couldn't get one more possession. Thought there were some bizarre things in that game that happened. I continue to think that, some crews we have are, a little don't understand time and place and reference to some of the penalties. And Bluefield had some of that too, so it wasn't one-sided to the UPIKE Bears. But, we're going to bounce back this week, still have an opportunity to get a win this week and progress towards, trying to get some showdowns with some folks down the stretch to get a conference championship.
Interesting game last week. You mentioned it was 30 to 9 at halftime. We outscored them 31-13 in the second half. Really a tale of two halves there. And unfortunately, their 13 was a little more than our 9 in the off half.
Yeah. There were a couple drives there. If we had back, we win that thing probably, 54 to 43. But here we are. We're at the moment we're at. Learning a lot about ourselves and who we are as we progress through the season. So, absolutely excited to get back on the field.
One of the most challenging opponents for old dudes like me is this week. It's Union Commonwealth University. It's no longer Union College, but
somebody told me when they changed from college to university status, you can't have the same name as another institution within a certain amount of miles. So they had to get creative and using the Commonwealth piece of the Commonwealth of Kentucky.
Interesting. They should talk to all the Bethels about that then.
Yeah, but I don't think they're real close to each other. They're just dotted everywhere.
There are everywhere out there. So what do we know about Union?
So Union, coming off a really quality win this last week against Kentucky Christian, who we thought was really trending in a really good direction, still are. That's probably one of the better KCU teams in school history. So if you look at it, they came off a quality win there where they really rattled the quarterback, got after some things, and so they're dangerous. They're a team that lost to some teams we've lost to. They're some or lost to some teams we beat, and they're just dangerous on defense. I think Coach does a great job. First year as the head coach, he was the DC there a few years. They got some really talented players on defense, and they do some things that can be problematic on offense. And so as they come in the stadium, we have to have a good game plan, and we got to manage and minimize some issues that we've had that have caught us in a couple ball games on offense, defense, and special teams.
Pike County Schools Appreciation Day.
It is, yeah. We want to get our folks out from Pike County who are in town with a little sugar rush coming off the Halloween holidays. So we want to get those folks out and honor them and support them and love them. And a lot of kids in this community who mean a lot to this program, a lot to the university. Obviously, lots of their moms and dads. So bring them out, get them worn out, let them jump around in the bouncy house, and then send them home.
Be a good one. You mentioned they just played KCU.
Mm-hmm.
Well, those are our next two opponents. How valuable is that game film to you, if at all?
Yeah, it's always down the stretch. You're evaluating things, and KCU's a lot like us in terms of their formations and some of the things they do offensively. They do a really good job with it. So it was really a valuable film in this situation, to get prepared for Union Commonwealth University.
Playing those two back-to-back final two home games of the season, the next two Saturdays. This one's at 3. Next week we play at 7. I got to talk to you about those November night games, but I know how much you love playing those night games.
I probably would have shifted that one a little differently, but when you're so close in proximity, it really helps to play a little bit later game because then the travel piece isn't as daunting. So, absolutely. I think those are real things.
When you are playing a team that close, the other thing about it is that pregame meal is a little bit of a challenge to work in.
Yeah,
right?
Be honest, between here and KCU, we usually, when I was at KCU playing UPIKE, we would have pregame meal on campus,
right.
And vice versa here, just because there's really no place to go. No place between here and there that can accommodate a travel party of 80, 85.
Yeah, and it is a lot, and I think that's something that a lot of people lose sight of, and that's why there's so much planning that goes on when we go on the road for a week, because you can't just, call up Holiday Inn and say, I need a room. We need 40 rooms, and we need, those big places that can take a banquet hall, essentially, and turn it into our
we've been on, over the years, working in different places. You'd be on, and there'd be a Shoney's for an early breakfast meal, and the best thing you could do was 2 shifts, so offense would come eat, and then defense would come eat, and then you get back together and go. It was different deal. And that was actually here in the old Shoney's here in Pikeville.
Really? That's an interesting story. How many different schools did you come to Pikeville with? Was it just 2?
Oh, man. So I've been here with I've probably been here with Faulkner University. I've probably been here with Belhaven University. Probably been here with, for sure, Kentucky Christian University. So I guess 3 different stops in the old Mid-South before becoming the head coach here at the University of Pikeville.
Those are some interesting schools that meant you had some decent trips to get to Pikeville.
Yeah, absolutely.
You got to KCU.
Yeah. The travel budget at Belhaven and in Jackson, Mississippi, and Faulkner and Montgomery, Alabama were legitly tough.
What is your impression of the conference at this point in the season? Because we've had a few games now, you can get a good look at it.
I think it's in some ways a little bit better, a little bit more topsy-turvy than it's been. Last year it was kind of a two-horse race. I think there's probably really legitimately 3 this year out of the, 7 teams in the league, and then there's a couple that are just dangerous enough to make it tough for everybody.
Right, and those are the scary teams, in my estimation. It's hard to get your team up for a team when they're used to beating them and that sort of stuff, and then you go.
There's a little bit of that, especially when you're still young and a little bit immature in some spots, and trying to get guys to understand the big picture and the 30,000-foot view and all that stuff. Yeah, I think so.
Got to catch a little bit of practice on Tuesday night after the soccer match, and it looked like there was a lot of enthusiasm, a lot of guys.
Yeah, a lot of energy. We had some good practices despite the weather and some of the issues that we had this week in terms of rain and stuff. We tried to beat the rain yesterday, got out there at 5:45 a.m., still got us, but didn't get us to the same degree that it got us later in the day. So, we got out the rubber balls instead of leather balls, which are tough to handle and stuff. So we just kind of navigated and had a good workout. And today we had a good film session at 11 o'clock, and then tomorrow or this afternoon at 3:45 we'll get out there and try to have a good one, and then get stuck in Halloween traffic coming up Cedar.
That's what, and it is, from my understanding, it's epic, Halloween traffic going up that way.
It's like being in downtown L.A. during rush hour, babe.
So I noticed one thing that is different under your leadership as other coaches is typically what I was seeing when I would go to practice is the special teams were out there kicking around before practice started, and then they were kind of standing around tossing the ball in the air for 2 hours. Yeah. But you guys were out there, they were kicking sideways on the field, right at midfield to split the field down.
Yeah, so we do kind of a pre-practice deal where offense has one end, defense has the other, and pre-practice, and right there in the middle to get some kicks and some drill work and some fundamentals in. Our kicking and our specialists will be right there in the middle. And then, we'll come and together and do our dynamic flex period warm up, and we'll have a team prayer. I'll say a couple words, then we'll go to a competition period. Then we go right into PAT field goal, a few more segments, and then we go into about 10 minutes of kicking game. A few more segments, then we come back to another 10 minutes of kicking game. So exclusively dedicated to the kicking game is, about 30 minutes a day out of a 2-hour practice. But also Coach Miner's done a great job. He really felt like our kickers were getting too much work during practice. They felt like they had to get these kicks and those kicks, and he's kind of put them on a pitch count almost like a pitcher to minimize some of that.
So from my angle, I think the special teams has been drastically improved this year. I don't know what your angle is.
They have, and Coach does an outstanding job. A couple miscues here and there, but as he gets to a full off season to develop his plan, recruit his people, to fit. Not that we don't have some of those right now. I think it'll just continue to get better.
Isaac Smith's been a godsend.
Yeah, he was a steal. Soccer player there at Tennessee Wesleyan in the league. You didn't have to sit out a year based on conference transfer rules because they don't offer football. Right. So, yeah, we're very thankful for Isaac and what he's brought to the table this year.
So we have a couple of guys with us today. Naj is going to join us here in a few minutes. Naj Bellegarde, who is one of the more widely known players on the team.
Yeah, he's one of everybody's favorites on campus and in the community. Naj do a great job today, does a great job on the field, does a great job in the community. Super excited to have you talk to him. And then we've got Gabe Bookman, who's a grad transfer offensive tackle, started every game at right tackle for us thus far. Really good guy, really quiet kind of demeanor. But, his brother Owen, we signed in the high school process, and Gabe was finishing up at Defiance College there in Ohio and was looking for a grad transfer opportunity, social work major. So we had a social work master's degree, very much like Xavier Malone. So a guy that wants to go out and be a counselor and change the world. So having him, on this roster has been huge. Now his brother, and him, big guys, 6'6", 330 and 6'4", 320, and that's a lot of beef we got in one transaction with Mom. Yes. So she's glad they're here. So her grocery bill is a little lighter than usual.
Let us pick up that tab for a while.
That's right.
So there was behind the scenes, there was a little bit of a delay on getting the names. Is that because you were trying to find somebody to offset Naj? You had to find the quietest guy on the team?
Pretty much. You had to offset the energy, absolutely.
We'll get in here with one of these guys after this, and then we'll bring Coach back at the end. You're watching the UPIKE Football Coaches Show from Buffalo Wild Wings at Pikeville, Kentucky. Welcome back to UPIKE Football Coaches Show from Buffalo Wild Wings of Pikeville, Kentucky. I'm Rick Bentley. He's Naj Bellegarde. Let me tell you a little bit about Naj. 6 foot, 204-pound sophomore linebacker from Dallas, Georgia. Makes a lot of tackles on the field, but we're going to talk about that later. Listen to me. I watch you on social media. I see you doing your little show. Yes, I'm the host. You don't do that. You're not going to take over this show, okay? You got to give me my space. I'm hanging around here for a reason. I'm trying to get my retirement build up. I don't need you coming in and taking my job.
Got you.
How you been?
I'm doing good. How about you?
Good. So Najmir, and I keep telling my PA announcer, just call him Naj. Just call him Naj, because that's I never hear anybody call you Najmir.
I guess they switched it up because last season they called me Naj, but I guess whenever they're doing the roster, they wanted me to go by my full name.
Well, he reads what's on the roster, and that's what he's supposed to do. But for me, it's always been Naj.
Yeah, for sure.
And you are, Coach and I were talking about across campus, probably of the 120, 125 guys we got on the team, you're probably in the top 3 or 4 as far as people. You mentioned Naj. Oh, I know Naj. Yeah. Everybody knows Naj, right? How has that happened for you?
I guess just being involved with UPIKE. I mean, I'm part of SLC, Student Leadership Council on campus. I'm an RA on campus. And I just try to talk to many people around campus. I mean, just saying what's up makes a person's day.
You're a man of the people. Tell me about Dallas, Georgia.
Dallas, Georgia. I mean, small town near Kennesaw, Georgia. Born and raised there. I mean, so good spot to be at.
So all your life, that's been it, right? And what is there to do in Dallas, Georgia? What do you do on a Saturday?
I mean, we either go out to Mexican food, football, watch the games, or we go out to Kennesaw, Georgia, and there's a lot of activities, bowling, laser tag.
Kennesaw State?
Yeah, that's about 30 minutes away from me.
Not bad at all. 13 tackles, 6 solos on Saturday.
Yes, sir.
Around the ball. And interestingly enough, did not lead the team in tackles.
Nah, my boy Levi Evans, you know.
Levi jumped up, got 16. That's good, though. I mean, 13 tackles. I mean, you're swarming the ball.
Yes, sir.
And 2.5 tackles for loss. Tell me about what happens on the tackle for loss. How do you get to the end of the backfield?
I guess just playing fast. I mean, watching film really makes a big deal of getting those TFLs.
Who is trying to block you? Linemen?
I mean, offensive tackles, offensive guards, centers. Mostly it's going to be an offensive guard.
You ever tell them, hey, you need to go over and block that dude and leave me alone for a while?
I mean, I don't really talk much. I just
Really?
play ball.
That's hard for me to believe. Tell me about the fumble recovery.
I mean, it was 4th and 1, and I mean they were trying to run a jet sweep, I believe, and I guess the quarterback was just too timid to either keep it or he didn't know when to keep it or give it.
Yep.
I mean, it hit the guy's hip, and the ball fell, and I seen it and picked it up.
And there you were. No return, just fell on it and
Yes, sir.
got us the ball. That's
Just get the ball and get the offense the opportunity to score.
38 tackles on the season. That's a pretty good little run. Second on the team.
Yes, sir.
25 solo tackles. That means you're taking care of business when you get alone, right?
Yes, sir.
Second on the team there, too. Tell me about your major. What do you do?
Business management major at the Coleman College of Business.
So I want you to see this here. Like up here, you'll see that I got some questions for Gabe when he comes in.
Yeah.
You notice on your sheet, there's no questions.
Not at all.
I don't need to make notes to ask Naj questions. So you major in management?
Yes, sir.
What do you want to be when you grow up?
Either do data analytics or just be a project manager or just potentially, I mean, in the future, own my own business.
So how close to Dallas, Georgia are you interested in getting back to?
I mean, I want to stay in the area of Georgia. Dallas, Georgia, I'd probably say, I mean, it's not a city just to, for business stuff. It's more of like commercial stuff like that. But I mean, heading down to Atlanta is where I see myself.
And how far are you from Atlanta?
45 minutes.
45 minutes, not too bad at all. Not bad at all. And I tell you, the weather in Georgia is about the opposite from here.
Yeah.
Because the winters are mild. I think our summers are like they get hot, but it's not like Georgia hot. Like that humidity in Georgia is the real deal.
I mean, you step outside, just know you're going to have a change of clothes because you're going to be sweating.
Yeah, the only place I've been hotter than Georgia really was the first time I was in Charleston, South Carolina. I never saw humidity in my life like I did. And I've been to Atlanta in the summertime. I know what that's all about. It really does get humid to the point that it's just uncomfortable just to walk out.
Oh, yeah. I mean, if you're getting ready to go to a business interview or something, I advise you just have that AC on full blast.
Yeah, it's going to be warm down there. It's interesting tell me about these interviews that you do. Where did that come from? Was that your idea, somebody else's?
I mean, it was Coach Austin Miner's idea. I mean, and I guess I was the first guy for him to reach out and just host. And I just took the opportunity. He was like, it's probably going to go 1 week at a time. We'll get other guys. But after that, I did the first one. I did pretty good. He's kept me as the host. And
tell me, who writes those questions? Is that you?
Some of it's all of it's of Coach Miner.
Okay, so you don't come up with your own?
I come up with some of them on the fly.
I'm gonna say you're good at it. I enjoy watching those. I always every time I see one of those, I don't care who you're talking to. I got to see what my boy's doing here.
Thank you.
Taking some tips from you, trying to get better.
I'm trying to be like you. I mean, I got some
no, man,
room to improve.
You can set your goals loftier than that. I'll tell you right now. Do you enjoy doing that sort of stuff?
Oh, of course. I mean, just hearing what my teammates got to say, and just being like Coach Phipps says, the light on the hill.
Yeah, I think that I joked with you earlier about you're a man of the people, but you are you're a little bit like me in that like when you see somebody coming, they're going to get a hey, how you doing?
Yes, sir.
Out of you, and it's always going to be that way, right?
Yes, sir.
Where did that come from? Who instilled that in you?
I mean, I guess it's been me always. I mean, like growing up, I was a shy kid, but I guess just getting that, just meeting other people and building connections and networking with other people just comes a long way. And especially being in college, I mean, in a couple of years I'll be starting a career. So, I mean, just getting hellos, highs can really move you up in life.
So I was talking to one of the linebackers earlier this season. I don't remember which one, but I said that must be a loud room when the linebackers get together with Naj in there, and they're like, no, Naj is not the guy.
I don't really, get on people or talk much. But, when there's a room, like time to talk, I'm going to let my voice be heard.
Who is the loud voice in that room among the players?
I'll say Caleb Anderson.
That was the name I got before, too. Caleb must be.
Nah, he's a character for real.
That's good. That's the linebacker core is really, for us, it seems to me, the heart of our defense. Like,
Oh,
you
for
guys
sure.
are the ones at the top of the tackle list every week.
I mean, I tell those guys every game, well, we're the best athletes on the field. A lot of people might not believe it, but, I mean, the stats show.
And Coach told me that part of the scheme that we run is designed for the linemen to take care of the linemen and let the linebackers get in
Yeah, I
and do
mean,
tackles.
the defensive line does a pretty good job of just keeping the linebackers clean and just having us scrape over top and making a play.
And most of those are once they get through the line, but hey, 2.5 tackles for loss tells me you're getting in the backfield some too.
Yes, sir.
Quarterback, you after him, you just pursue the ball.
I always get to the quarterback, but, I mean, within a second, the quarterback always throws it away. I mean, I think on season I probably have 3 or 4 quarterback hurries and just 1 sack.
And what is for you? Tell me what a good game is. Tell me, Naj,
A good game.
Like,
I
Naj
mean,
had a good game on Saturday. If
13 tackles, a forced fumble, 3 TFLs, and maybe an interception if I'm lucky.
that's a good week right there. Tell me about what do you know about Gabe Bookman? We're going to talk to him here in a minute.
I mean, Gabe Bookman, quiet kid. I mean, when I first got here, he didn't talk. I mean, I thought he was just a quiet kid, but just getting to know him throughout the season, great kid. I mean, very talented. Came from Defiance College, and very, like I said, talented. I mean, he makes beats. A lot of people don't know that, but he makes beats. But he's a great kid.
Really. So tell me, when you go home, what do you say? People say, where you go to school? What do you tell them?
It's at the University of Pikeville, and they're like, what's that? I mean, it's moving mountains. I mean, I just tell those guys that, and I guess just going back to my high school, I try to get, kids over here. I mean, I got one of my teammates, Devon Callan Baisley, freshman right now, starting for us, doing pretty good. I mean, he's going to have an incredible career here at UPIKE, and I just keep telling my guys that where I came from, North Paulden High School, I mean, just give it a try. I mean, it's not like home, but it's going to be home.
That's the perfect way to put it. It's not home, but it's going to be. If you come here and give it a shot, like, you're going to look around in 4 years and be like, do I really have to go, or can I hang around, or what can I do here?
I mean, that's how I thought about it. I mean, getting recruited, I was like, Kentucky. I mean, I didn't know nothing about Kentucky, but I mean, I took the chance, took the faith leap, and look at me now. I mean,
yeah, and again, I kid you a little bit, but not kidding at all. One of the most popular people on campus, and for all the good reasons. There's nothing bad being said about Naj. So
yes, sir.
That's got to be a source of pride for you and your family.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, buddy. We're going to let you step away, get back to your food, bring Gabe Bookman in. We'll talk to him after this. How's that?
Sounds good.
Naj, you're the man. I appreciate you. We'll be back after this. You're watching UPIKE Football Coaches Show from Buffalo Wild Wings in Pikeville, Kentucky. Welcome back to UPIKE Football Coaches Show. I'm Rick Bentley. He's Gabe Bookman. We're going to get to know Gabe a little bit here, a 6'6", 334-pound. We list you as a senior. Coach says graduate.
Yeah.
Student.
It's my 4th year. I'm a true senior on the field, but I'm in grad school.
So you are a grad student in the classroom. You're a senior on the football field.
Yeah.
Perfect. Starting offensive line, the right tackle. Tell me what a right tackle does.
So I block for the right edge of the O-line, usually manned up with the D-end.
And the goal there is?
To keep the ball carriers safe, quarterback, running backs, whoever else.
We throw the ball a lot.
Yeah, we do.
So tell me, what does that involve with you?
So I set back. We have 2 different ways we set. We either backpedal or we kick step. And I got to keep the guy in front of me for as long as I can to give X some time to throw. Throwing all that time in a game, it lets the dude kind of read you a little bit. So you got to keep yourself able to adapt,
And we also have Amon Williams in the backfield who can run the ball like crazy, and he can also jump out and catch it. So you got to make sure he's got a space to get to as well, right?
Yeah, give him a little escape route. He's usually running right between me and the guards trying to get out there.
Tell me, what is the difference in your blocking concept with a pass or a rush?
So with a pass, you're more likely trying to keep your guy in front of you. And as a run play, you're trying to get movement on him either sideways or upfield to create gaps for the running back.
So you came from Defiance College. It's in Ohio.
Yeah.
What level is that?
They were D3 when I went there, and they just transitioned to NAIA.
Did they really?
Yes.
So, okay. But where is it exactly? And tell me a little bit about Defiance.
So Defiance is in northwest Ohio, about right next to Michigan and Indiana. Very small place, very small school, just a few hundred students.
Tell me about Vincent, Ohio, your hometown.
Very small place also, high school there draws from a big area of rural Ohio. It's the southeast.
So you went from southeast to
Yeah.
northwest. You went one end of Ohio to the other, huh?
Yeah, it was almost 4 hours away from where I am originally
Nice.
from.
Nice. And okay, so when I think of that southeast Ohio, I'm thinking about Rio Grande and that area there. How close are you to that?
We went over there. Jackson High School's right there. Sometimes we competed with them in sports and stuff, but we were more east than that.
More east. So you're West Virginia?
Yeah, I was born in West Virginia,
Where are you really?
Yeah.
Nice. What part?
Parkersburg.
Yep. Been there before. Tell me about your major. What do you do in school?
I'm a social work major.
And that's what you're pursuing your MBA in, right?
Yes. I got my LSW over the summer. I have my bachelor's in social work. So
LSW. I know the SW is social work. What's the L?
it's a license of social work.
And now you're working on your master's
Yes.
in that field. And tell me, what are your career aspirations? What do you want to be when you grow up? That's a question I tend to ask people.
So I desire to be some form of mental health specialist in some area or just generalist.
Could you hang around Coach and I and help us with our mental health? Because
Yeah.
we need all that we can get. So that's what you want to be, and you deal with Janessa Kilgore Bowling, family member of mine.
Yep.
You see her quite a bit. I'm sorry that you have to deal with her as often as you do. Love Janessa. Love to give her a hard time, and she will not be disappointed when she sees this. She'll say, "Yep, that's what I expected out of him." Mm-hmm. Tell me about playing football with your brother.
So it's been kind of a dream of mine. Unfortunately, right now he's still injured. I wanted to share the field with him a little bit. It's been fun being able to support him and having support from him.
And what position on the O-line will he play when he's healthy?
Probably right tackle.
Really? So maybe it's good that he's not able to play right now. You're getting all the snaps, right?
Yep.
A lot of times on an offensive line, they tell me that you'll rotate out for if we're going to pass or if we're going to run or something like that. You just stick in there.
Yeah, our O-line does not rotate very much. We usually stick with our 5 guys. We have a 6-man that sometimes we throw in there, for different stuff and different parts of the game.
Michael Lee said he was here to support you today.
Yeah, he is.
That's nice of him to come by. He's a regular on around here on Thursdays, and we like to see him and have a talk with him. So you tell me about being a lineman. Now, this is what I was told when we first started. I want to tell you about me. I went to an elementary school. I went to a high school. I went to 2 colleges. None of them played football. Mm-hmm. None. So my question, I'm learning a lot about football as we go along. And when we first started this program 25 years ago, the first coach told me that for a football team to be successful, it starts on the offensive line. He said that's the most overlooked position on the field. But if you don't have a cohesive offensive line, you're not going to be very good.
Yeah. The offensive line is basically like the adhesive of the team. Everything is one in the trenches. You can put whoever you want back there. If Tom Brady's back there and he doesn't have time to throw it, he's not going to help the team. So.
And how long does it take to develop that chemistry with your offensive lineman?
It does take some time. Having a consistent O-line is good because you got to get that timing right with each other because everybody's a little different, moves a little faster, is a little stronger, slower,
You work in conjunction with the right guard?
Yeah.
And who is that most of the
The
time?
right guard right now is Patrick Crowley. He's been thrown in there after an injury a couple weeks ago, and he's been doing a very good job picking it up right from abrupt change.
Is that why we have a new center?
Yes.
Because of the injury?
Yeah, our left tackle moved to center, our right guard moved to left tackle, and we threw in a new right guard.
How hard is that?
It's definitely difficult. We practice a lot of different positions, and we try to practice in space too, so you're ready to be anywhere.
So if in the middle of the game, if they said, hey, move to left guard,
Yeah, as long as I know the schemes, like I might not be specifically built for that position, but I can do the job.
Typically, tackles are a little bigger guys, would you say, than guards?
Yeah, so since we're in one-on-one positions more, having long arms, being able to keep people off your body is more important because you don't have as support to one side of you.
Do you find that people have questions like I have about linemen that they wouldn't necessarily have about Naj and the linebackers and that sort of stuff?
Yeah, definitely people who like watch football and didn't play O-line, nobody's really looking at the O-line most of the time.
Yeah, I've said that the offensive linemen are generally noticed when they screw up,
Yeah.
and that's not a good thing. And apparently, you're not screwing up too much.
Well, we try our best.
Tell me, what do you want to see the rest of this season?
Obviously, this season hasn't started the way we had hoped, but this is a very talented squad, and I don't think we've shown like a full game showing all of our talents and all of our people who we have. I would really love to see a game where we put it all together. I don't want to leave that here, like, for next year, just thinking about what could have been.
The thing about interviewing offensive linemen that's different from every other position is there's no real stats for me to quote about you and talk about and that sort of thing. But I understand that you guys take a lot of pride in what X's numbers are and what Amon's numbers are. You want to see, and the better those numbers are, then you guys must have been doing your job. Is that how you evaluate it?
Yeah. If we have a good, amount of offensive yards, being able to score and stuff is all I really care about, I don't have numbers on the stat sheet, so seeing somebody like X get AC Player of the Week makes me feel good.
And a lot of quarterbacks take a lot of pride in what their linemen are able to provide for them, right? Mm-hmm. And tell me one last question for you. How have you enjoyed Pikeville? When you go back to Vincent, what do you tell people?
I've had a lot of fun here. It's way, even not as a gigantic city, it's way bigger than what I'm used to. The culture here is so good. The people are so close. There's not fighting during practice and stuff like that. Even though I've only been here for a short time, I've had a lot of fun, and I've made some brothers here.
What's it like playing for an offensive lineman? Coach Phipps was an offensive lineman in his day.
I like having an offensive lineman as a head coach because he understands, our struggle a little bit, and there's a little more empathy there when other people have hard times. It's not always on us.
Dave, you've been awesome. I appreciate you taking time with my stupid questions.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us. We'll be back after this with Coach Phipps to wrap things up here on the UPIKE Football Coaches Show from Buffalo Wild Wings, Pikeville, Kentucky. Welcome back to the UPIKE Football Coaches Show. Coach Phipps back with me again. Dude, you recruited brothers who play the same position?
Yeah, that's kind of crazy. Well, but you play you have two tackles, so if one would have been, if Owen would have been ready this year, he'd coming off a little bit of a high school injury, so we were redshirting him. You could have had bookend tackles.
Go ahead, say that 3 times fast.
No doubt.
Really interesting guy to talk to, and offensive linemen are really interesting people because they don't have stats. So they're looking at their value through another lens.
Yeah.
And I always say that the thing that I do in my job mostly is tell other people's story. So we kind of have that same look at things. And also, I'm built like an offensive lineman too. So
a little bit.
That helps a little bit. Right there. Interesting guy to talk to, and Naj is Naj.
Yeah, Naj is great.
He really is. I asked him about his interviews that he does. I love those little segments that he does on social media. If you haven't seen one of those, find them. They're great. He does a nice job. And I think
they've gotten better and better.
I don't think he's still not incredibly comfortable doing it, but he's probably more comfortable than the person he's interviewing. That's typically
the way it works.
So Union coming up this week. Tell me what's going to happen Saturday.
Yeah, so it's a 3:00 kick. Going to be a great day. It looks like it's going to be a nice and beautiful fall day. So a little bit of sunshine, and really excited to get out there and just get back at it with the guys. They're excited to play Union. They're excited to play anybody. They're excited just to get back on the field and try to right the wrongs from last week. And so I think they're a good ball club. I think we're a great ball club that hasn't played their best ball game yet.
Owen said that he thought that we hadn't played a full game yet.
No. Even against some of those opponents, we had pretty good wins against, and we haven't played us yet. And, and it's a little bit troublesome when you're the head football coach and you look, okay, you're 2/3 of the way through the season. What's the malfunction junction here? So, but I just think, at some point, the guys have really just got to flip the switch and understand that it's their moment to play their best ball game.
We have never lost an AAC game at home.
Interesting.
Interesting. So we have the next 2 at home, which will set the stage, I believe. I know you don't want to look down the road. That'll set the stage for the season finale at Reinhardt in a couple of weeks.
So this game will set the stage for next week.
Yes, it will.
That's my theory right now.
That's the focus. But you did get the opportunity to go back to that because Union and KCU played each other last week. So now you've kind of seen both of them a little bit.
Yeah. So I mean, it's the next 3 weeks are going to be tough ball games, and we're excited to just get this next one going.
So put the AD hat back on.
Gotcha.
Tomorrow we've got that soccer game that we talked about, 2 o'clock at Bob Amos.
Got volleyball.
Volleyball at 6:30, and then Saturday it's flipped. Volleyball plays first. They play at 11 o'clock in the morning. Football's at 3. So listen, we got stuff for you to do all weekend. Just come on out and have fun with us.
It's going to be a great weekend in our athletic department. Excited to see a bunch of teams compete and get some wins.
Really excited about that soccer tomorrow because it may be the only sport that we can actually host a postseason game in. You can't do that you could in football, I guess. We could, but there's no conference tournament in football.
Yeah, kind of troublesome thing at that 2 o'clock start time is, we still got a lot of students in class, so
2 o'clock on Friday, it's starting to thin out a little bit, though.
A little bit. I think you as a former instructor and still instruct a few classes, you ought to send out an email to all the instructors saying, hey, if there was a moment to cancel your class and get them to come rally around some people, this is it.
I have been known on Fridays when I was teaching in business right there at the field to take my class that I'm in on Friday around noonish to the baseball field to watch a game. And what we did was we talked about that facility in my facilities management class so that we could,
or the lack thereof.
Yeah.
Got it.
It's getting better. It's getting better out there. No question about it. Who's the coach at Union? Anybody you know? I mean, because you seem to know them all.
Yeah, I do, Coach. Cody, I just lost his last name. A brand new head coach. He was the defense coordinator, spent some time at University of Cumberland's under Shan Housekeeper as the defense coordinator and runs a very similar scheme.
You look at both of those rosters because those schools are so close. Yeah. You see a lot of transfers.
You see, especially since you don't have to sit out going from one to the other because they're interconference transfers, Mid-South and then the AAC. You see a lot of that.
All right, Coach, we're going to get us a win on Saturday.
Absolutely. Thank you.
You're going to feel better at 6 than you feel right now.
I'll hold you to it, babe.
That's right. All right. So we appreciate our guests here today. It's been a phenomenal show. And, Coach, for what he does, thank our friends from Pike TV and my staff over there who's working really hard. I don't know if you've seen how hard they're working over there.
That's right. They're working hard at eating wings right now.
They are eating wings right now like crazy, and I'm about to go join them. So, for all those folks, I'm Rick Bentley. Until next Thursday here from Buffalo Wild Wings, we'll see you next week on the UPIKE Football Coaches Show.